My name's Brendan Hedrick with Western Star Marketing. You all have asked for it, so today we're going to provide you with it. We have Dan Silbernagel here from Product Strategy, and he's going to be taking us on a guided tour of the new Western Star 4700, along with some competitive models. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. This is Dan Silbernagel from Western Star Product Strategy. He's going to be our guide around the 4700 today. So Dan, let's take it away.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate the opportunity to guide everybody through the 4700 and the rest of the competitive vehicles that we're going to show everyone as well. So let's start with the front end. It's the face of the vehicle, and everybody going down the road, it's the first thing they see. It's kind of the first impression you can give anybody going down the road.
And Dan, who wouldn't want to have a big W on the front of their truck?
I can't imagine that there wouldn't be anybody that wouldn't want to have this W on the front of their truck. The grille here, it's chrome plastic. It's radiator mounted. That means any type of equipment you want to mount on the front end here, you never have to worry about the grille getting in the way. Behind the grille, we have a rock guard / bug guard. It's steel here, so it provides great protection of the cooling module when you're driving down the road. If you go a little bit below here, we see the bumper. This happens to be the 16.5-inch chrome steel bumper. We are showing the center toe pin, very similar to how we do it on the 4900. Just pull that pin out to access it.
And Dan, that is a front closing cross member that's attached to that center toe pin, correct?
It is. It's a structural cross member because we have to be able to provide 80,000 pounds of towing at a 45-degree angle. So if you're in a ditch, you're anywhere you really shouldn't be and you need some help getting out, you can pull at an angle and get you out there. Also available are removable tow hooks. That'll be in this position and this position if you order them, and they're stored on the frame rail in here. Those are also rated at 80,000 pound capacity at 45-degree towing angle. We have different front frame treatments. We have a 12-inch front frame extension and a 24-inch front frame extension. Those will be used for plow equipment, outriggers for cranes, and any other equipment you want to put up here. When you do that, even on the set forward front axle that this is, you'll get the swept back bumper on it.
Now Dan, are front engine PTOs available?
Yes, they are, and they'll be kind of right in this area here. It does have a cutout in the radiator when we do that, and it keeps the radiator low, which ultimately keeps the hood low. And what's the benefit of that?
And that's another good point, Dan, is that on the set forward and set back axles, the hood slope is exactly the same, so you don't lose any visibility with the set forward axle.
Correct. Yeah, we'll have competitive vehicles that we'll go through and show you that their hood height will change depending on either their axle position or front engine PTO, non-front engine PTO. This, it's static all the way through with all the options, providing better visibility for safety on the work site. The headlamps here, kind of get it all done here. You can remove them from the front side here with the 4 screws that I just pointed at. This headlamp is also a sealed beam halogen headlamp, very inexpensive to replace, pretty much find it anywhere. And then you have the standard turn signal here, and then a LED, better visibility going down the road.
Now that we've moved over to the side of the vehicle, Dan, first thing we want to talk about is the 29-inch axle setting on the set forward versus a 47-inch on the set back.
Correct. Yeah, there's 18-inch difference in the axle settings, and we'll explain when we get over to the mid-chassis of kind of where that comes in importance in getting some clean back of cab options. Along with the axle settings, our capacity ranges from 12,000 pounds to 22,000 pounds, both on the set forward and set back. So really no difference there, just in the setting itself. Now let's kind of go up the hood a little bit here, and let's talk about the air intake system. So we have a single left-hand intake for the system there. And Brandon, if you wouldn't mind kind of opening up the hood, we'll show them the inside and kind of what this makes it. So what we want to look inside here is what kind of makes this special in here. And it may be a little bit difficult to see on here, but if you can remember the height of the exterior intake, and you're looking at the little nipple there now, and that's where water comes out. And how it comes out there is the height of the intake system. We shoot the air down and then comes back up, and it just lets everything kind of drain out of that low spot in the system. Then it makes its way over to the right-hand side of the vehicle and then down into the air filter system. Actually, then down into the filter itself. And by having the long run from the intake to actual filter, we ensure that we clean out as much of the water and the dirt as possible, and giving a longer life to the actual filter itself. One of those replacement items that we want to reduce the the vehicle life cost for the customer. Also, while we have the hood open, we like to point out the kind of front mounting of the hood. Those big bolts down there that you see are a little bit silver. Kind of help point that out right there. Those are 3/4 inch bolts. There's one on the left hand and right hand side, and they also have bronze bushings inside there. That's for long life, kind of wear and tear side of it. As you're going down the road, the hood tries to move. That's what stabilizes it. The spring assist shock right above it is what helps get the hood over, and also is a bit of a blowover protection because it dampens the hood as it comes down, so it's very slow to come down.
And Dan, I think one important thing to mention while talking about that strut is those are spring struts as opposed to gas struts, and gas struts have been known over time to lose that pressure and their effectiveness. So these are spring struts, so they will not lose their tension over time.
Yeah, that's a good point, just to make clear emphasis on those struts there. One of the things too with those bolts that I mentioned, and keeping the hood from kind of rocking and rolling a little bit, Brandon, if